There is no question, webinars are one of the best marketing methods used today. By employing the correct techniques and using the right tools, you will quickly be able to build high converting sales webinars from start to finish with ease. In this video, I will show you the processes that you need to achieve this and create compelling webinars that will bring you sales when done correctly. Aspects of your presentation are even more important than the content itself. Why? Because it is the timing format and structure that determines whether your prospect converts into a paying customer by the end of the webinar. Here are proven best practices to follow when deciding how long your webinar will be, what format it will be presented in, and how it will be structured from beginning to end. Presentation format. Presenters like to be on camera, speaking to webinar attendees via video feed. Others prefer to create and share PowerPoint presentations while narrating with voiceover. Still, others use a combination of these and other techniques such as group video chat. So, which format is best for you and your business? The answer is simple. It is whichever format you're most comfortable with. There's no reason to force yourself on camera if you're camera shy, just as there's no reason to create a PowerPoint slide or animated graphics if you prefer to talk to people face to face. You know yourself best. If your audience really resonates with a simple, straightforward message delivered directly from you, then opt to speak right into the camera. You can use Google Hangouts for this. If the presentation of your product or brand requires the assistance of a slideshow or video clips, then voice-over narration might be more effective for you. Keep things simple, especially when creating your first presentation, and make sure you feel 100% comfortable with the format you choose. Timing is also important. So remember that your customers are busy and don't have endless hours to spend listening to your presentation, no matter how valuable the content may be. While many webinars last 45 to 60 minutes, yours needn't necessarily last that long. The most important thing is to deliver massive value while you have your audience's attention, and to then leave them wanting more. Instead of feeling antsy and distracted by the end of your webinar, a shorter presentation will leave attendees energized and inspired to follow your call to action. Test different lengths and see what your audience is most responsive to. Always pay attention to the structure, because structure of your webinar refers to the various sections of your presentation and the order in which they appear. A typical webinar structure is amply illustrated in a tool that I will introduce to you right now, and it is called WebinarLoop. Here are some of the key features that WebinarLoop has to offer and that you'll be able to utilize today.
When you first sign into WebinarLoop, it's a good idea to do a bit of setup administration first. So you can start by going to your profile and customizing your profile information. Here you can customize your profile name, email address, telephone number, and profile description. You can also change your password, upgrade your package level, and set your time zone. By scrolling down, you can also see which webinars you are listed as a presenter on, as WebinarLoop supports multiple presenters per webinar. Next, you might want to go up to the Settings tab here and select SMTP Setup or Twilio Settings. Under the SMTP settings, you can add your SMTP for your email follow-up, and you can update your Twilio settings to support your SMS follow-up. You can also integrate your autoresponder, and WebinarLoop supports a wide variety of autoresponders. To jump right into your webinar setup, go to the Webinars tab in the admin bar. Once you've created several webinars, you'll see a table listing all of them here. To create your first one, click on the button Create Webinar. Here you can give your webinar a title. We'll just call this one First Webinar. And then we can give our webinar a subdomain. We might want to call this one First and the subdomain will end with .webinarloop.in. If you have a specific custom subdomain that you definitely want to have, it's good to create it early and then check for availability to see if that name is available. If that subdomain is available, it'll be marked with a green check mark. If you choose a subdomain that's already taken, and then you go to check on it, you'll see that you get an error and that this subdomain already exists. So go ahead and choose a subdomain that's unique, and then give your webinar a description. And when you're ready, click Create Webinar. Now that we've created the webinar, our subdomain has been reserved. But we still have the opportunity to edit the subdomain, the title, or the description. We can also set the webinar language and choose the webinar type, either live, which will be broadcast live directly over YouTube Live, scheduled, which will broadcast our webinar at a specific date and time, or on demand, which creates an evergreen webinar which can be viewed on demand anytime by the viewers. We can also adjust the status of the webinar to either enable or disable it. And we can upload a custom logo as well. And once we're done, we can save our changes. Now, if we scroll to the top, we'll see that we have a red pending light here. If we click on this, WebinarLoop shows us the steps that are pending before our webinar setup is complete. So as you can see, we've now completed the webinar details. The next step is to complete the videos. So let's close our pending checklist. And here we are on the details page. Let's advance next to videos. You'll notice that when the page refreshes, the details tab turns green to show that this step is complete. Here we are in the videos tab, where we can provide the URL for the video that we want to use as the main video for the webinar. WebinarLoop supports YouTube, Vimeo, Wistia, Dailymotion, and direct MP4 links. So to start, choose the source platform, either Vimeo, YouTube, Wistia, MP4, or Dailymotion.
WebinarLoop is a fully loaded webinar creation and delivery tool that has all the essentials needed for the internet marketer. WebinarLoop sales page will give the full rundown on all the valuable features it has to offer. I have noticed promotions for launch products over the years giving away as bonuses loads of IM tools that you will never use and has nothing to do with the product that's being launched. Today, you don't have to take it anymore. You will not waste your time downloading and trying to figure out the hordes of useless bonuses that others are offering. It's not the quantity, but the relevance and the quality of the bonuses you need to supplement your WebinarLoop purchase. That is important. Pick up WebinarLoop through our link today and get 5 easy to understand video courses specifically geared to webinar marketing. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the series of videos that you can replay to your heart's content. You will be focused on running your WebinarLoop campaigns in no time. Bonus number 1, build high converting sales webinars. From start to finish is a 9-part step-by-step video course that will teach you how to set up a webinar using a proven methods. WebinarLoop is a versatile tool, but you need to know how to deploy the full power of webinar marketing, and this course gives you the blueprint keys. Bonus number 2, generate targeted Facebook likes. Shows you how to get influence liked with responsive content, detailed and responsive ad campaigns. This will help you to establish your engagement and stimulate quality relevant traffic to your WebinarLoop platform. Bonus number 3, survey funnel traffic. A 9-video set designed to target your WebinarLoop leads, allowing you to set practical goals and know exactly what your customers need to leverage your business profits to new heights. Bonus number 4, social media content. shows you in 9 videos how to monetize your social media content, get organized, captivate your audience to encourage social shares, boosting WebinarLoop attendance with interested potential paying customers. Bonus number 5. Website engagement is the 8-part course, and this will give you insights on how to increase the speed of your WordPress site and advice on the best plugins and hosting to optimize your WebinarLoop list, building with profitable SEO tips. Don't block your dreams of success. Act today. Click the button below to pick up your copy of WebinarLoop to start your journey to success.